Gotta get used to this new little camera. Seems to be working. Ta-da! Good morning, artists. Happy Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week, end of April. April showers today. I have to stop talking about the weather though, because yesterday I went on about how beautiful it was and how the temperature was up and it was going to be lovely and maybe we'd go outside. And then we find out that the rain that was supposed to happen overnight decided to slow itself down, and now we get rain all day. What do we do, right? So today we're going to paint some more rocks so we can start hiding those more around our neighborhood. And again, if you're not following me yet on Instagram or Twitter, please do. It's Artsy Schoen, ArtsySchOen, same as the stream name. And you guys can check out some of the artwork that I post up there and kind of keep tabs on when I take pictures and such of our little neighborhood adventures. So, couple things. I want to do a little shout out today for a very special follower who I'm not sure is on yet or not, but she'll be very embarrassed if she watches this back later. I'm shouting out to my awesome mama, my mother, who has been going crazy during these times. Found that she was able to crank out different masks that she has been not only giving out to our healthcare providers, but sending them to senior homes, especially where my grandma's at, to help make sure that they're all being taken care of. Sent me a whole bunch for me and my friends. I like this one. Look how pretty it is. It's got cool little inside. You can make it reversible if you wanted, so you could have it. Oh, we're gonna do that. Have a different color. Look at that. Ta-da! So it got a little long, so I have to pin it, but it's been a wonderful thing to have and very nice. I have like a really heavy duty one that I had made with a dish rag. I think I showed you guys that at some point. I'll use that for the store, but just for the other out and about, going to pick up, carry out or something, this has been fantastic. So I would love to see if you guys go into the My Art section of our classroom. If you have pictures of masks that you have made, I know there's a ton of different ways out there that you can do it without having to do sewing. I'd be really curious to see what you guys have come up with or what your families are using. So go into the My Art section, share it with me. I'd love to see it. Another little note I want to make, kind of important. It's something we have to talk about with online stuff. And this was something I had to deal with when I used to teach computer graphics. And we were on our computers all the time doing different art. Please, please, do not go online and search up pictures relating to the topic of our project and try to turn in someone else's picture as your own. Not calling anyone out, I'm just saying, I've started to notice that some people are trying to take advantage of the fact that things are digital and you don't have to hand me a physical project, and I am not there personally to watch you make it. So please, I'm not a fool. I know how to use the internet. Please do not try to turn in pictures of artwork that is not yours. I want to see your artwork. You're not going to be penalized if you turn in something late. You're not being penalized if you feel like your artwork is bad or anything like that. I don't believe in bad art. And this is not a time where I'm looking for you guys to really go crazy and be the next Picasso. I want you guys to just have some fun and make something that looks nice and that you feel good about. So if you're not doing that, do the assignment to the best of your ability and turn something in. You will still get credit for turning in the work as long as you follow along with what the directions are. So do the best that you can, but I don't want you stressing about it, okay? And please don't try to just turn in a picture of someone else's stuff just to get the grade. All right? Let's avoid that. This is supposed to be, I mean, our time is stressful enough. I don't want you guys trying to freak out about your grade and try to cheat essentially in order to do it. Okay? So let's just keep that in mind. I want to see your artwork. I want to see how you're doing. So that being said, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So yesterday, let's see if I can do this without turning off my camera again. Woo! There we go. I got a new phone, you guys. You'd be so proud of me. I got a phone that's smarter than my other smartphone was more like a sort of smartphone. It was more like an average phone. So yesterday we were having all sorts of crazy issues with getting hooked up and doing the streaming. I have no idea how much of it came out. I didn't even bother to post it online because the whole thing was just, it was a hot mess. So here's what you missed. I went through a couple of the rocks and did just a basic base coat on them. So they all have a little bit of color, no details as of yet, but it puts us in a good position. So now you get to see kind of the fun, more creative part of this, where we're actually creating the creatures and the faces. So I'm going to clean off my, look how cool this is. Those of you that are into the glue peeling, oh my goodness. This is like almost like a wax paper. So if you are interested in doing some of your own painting and you don't have something you can put the paint on easily, wax paper is great. And especially with some of these acrylics that just will peel right off. You can easily clean it and not have to worry too much about, just using up more and more and more. So it's recyclable too. All right, let's start off with this mellow yellow here. I needed to go back. It wasn't blending too well when I started adding the lighter color, so I need to go back now, get some regular yellow. Now we'll get into that. So one of the stories I tried to tell yesterday during the crazy stream, so I don't know if any of you guys were hanging out on the live stream and managed to catch it, you're going to hear it again. But the other day, when it was still nice and sunny out, was bath time for my dogs. And they are not fans of bath time. It's very weird because they will not have a problem running into water, like at a lake or something, if there are things to chase. Ducks especially. Not so much the ball. They have started to figure that out a little bit, especially the older dog, Wesker. He is not as fooled as he used to be of getting into the water by chasing a ball. And I know it's rough for them too because we can't lift them off a leash. Shibas are a kind of dog. They are extreme hunters. They do not stay very well. They're incredibly intelligent, but they are not so attached to their people as if they are outside and there is a squirrel nearby. They will certainly go after it. There we go. That's looking much better. And that texture. So we decided it was time to, give them a bath. It had been a while. They were getting to be stinky boys, and when you're stuck inside with them all the time, you do not want your boys to be that stinky. And we started with our older dog, Wesker, because he's a little more impatient. He will get antsy, and he howls and gets nervous about it, and so we start with him. Wiley, the puppy, is very good and patient and just kind of sits back for it. And we finished with Wesker. We let him shake off in the bathroom, and then we set him free, and you just hear him running around the house trying to shake off more of the water. It's kind of funny. Wiley, in the meantime, gets his bath. Now, it's kind of a tradition that we try to do baths on days where it's nice and sunny outside so that we can immediately take them out for a walk and let them kind of air dry a little bit so that they're not just soaking wet around the house. And Wesker will sometimes get really impatient about it, and he will start chasing around, like he'll start barking and letting us know, hey, we're not supposed to still be inside. You realize that. We're supposed to be walking. So after he runs around the house and has a good shake, he'll come outside the bathroom door and bark at us to make sure we know that he is there and he is supposed to be walking. So as we finish with Wiley and we let him shake off, we can kind of hear that Wesker may be outside the door. We heard him bark once out in the upstairs hallway. But, not knowing exactly where he was. So we finish with Wiley, we open the door, and Wesker is right outside the door. And he just goes, "Wow!" and just barks right at Wiley. And then takes off running. And I lost it. It was so funny. It felt like he had been waiting there. It felt like he was sitting outside that door, just waiting for Wiley to come out so he could bark at him and run away, like as if he'd been hiding there and went boo and just took off. And Wiley, when it's go time, Wiley is ready to go. And Wiley barked back, which is not something he does too much. He will howl at strangers constantly, but he's not much for other vocalizing. And he barked back and he just took off after Wesker. And my sister and I are trying to, clean up the bathroom a little bit, hang up towels and stuff. So, just the stuff that you do before, when you're finished with doggy bath. And we can hear them just tearing around the downstairs area, just and barking at each other and just having the most incredible zoomies fit that you've ever seen. And we finally got down to see what was going on, and it was ridiculous. Wesker, when he's in zoomy mode, he will run around and then he will just suddenly stop and sit, and his ears will go just flat against the back of his head. And if you didn't know him, you would think that he was showing off that he was being scared. But it's more of he is bracing himself for whatever. So you kind of do like a rah at him, and then he's gone again. He's running around, and it was a good probably 5-minute zoomy. It was a long zoomy period, which ended with Wesker immediately coming over and being like, excuse me, it is walk time now. We need to be walking." And we did. We then took a nice, beautiful walk in the nice weather. Poor Wesker was really exhausted, though. He ended up making it a slightly shorter walk than our normal afternoon session, because he was clearly tired after his zoomy fit. I'm adding just a little bit of white to this because I want just a tiny bit lighter. Not too much because white is so strong. So yeah, our dogs are very funny in that Wesker will vocalize to us. He used to bark in the yard, and he still will if he's on one side of a fence and there's a squirrel on the other or a rabbit. He will kind of bark to want to go after him, as if we're going to like open a gate and let him through. But he doesn't bark at like when our neighbors are outside, or somebody walks by the house. If he's looking out the front window, he doesn't bark at people like that. He likes people. He's very friendly. And when he wants something, if he's hungry, he will come up to us while we're, wherever we're at. And he will just go, whoa. And it's his little, hey, I need something. And you can usually ask him. He's smart enough at this point, you can be like, you want to go outside? And if he does, he will run, for the door. If you ask him if he's hungry, he'll sometimes start, licking his lips. Like, yes, I indeed am hungry, mother. If you try to ignore him, he will climb into your lap and stick his face in front of yours, just to make sure you notice, yes, he is there in front of you, and you need to be paying much closer attention. Little bit green. We're just going through each of the rocks doing the highlights right now. Assembly line style. Now Wiley, on the other hand, does not come and bark at us. He will come and sit down. Like he will try to paw at things. He'll try to paw at cabinets, the floor, because he knows that gets a reaction. And part of that is our fault that we react to it, and you know, it's never a positive. It's always, you know, cut it out kind of a situation, but it still gets him attention. So we as proper doggy parents need to work on keeping him from doing that. Just a tiny bit of blue on that. It's a little bright. There we go. But the most adorable thing is he's kind of figured out that, you know, when we're doing training and treats and stuff, we like to, you know, give us your paw. We like to do shake. So he's figured out that he can come and sit in front of you, wait a moment, and then just so gently just boop, boop, just very gently touch you with his paw, like, so maybe if I do shake, maybe shake, I will get what I want. And usually it works because it is ridiculously adorable to be sitting and, you know, on your computer or watching TV or something, and all of a sudden you just feel a very gentle tap on your foot. And it's a sweet little puppy just giving you those big, sad puppy eyes. I know you just fed me an hour ago, but I haven't eaten in years. I'm so hungry, Mama. It's going to be an interesting one to do. He's a sweetheart. So he will bark at all the strangers, but then not bark when he wants something from us. And Wesker's the opposite. He is good and quiet most of the time when he's outside and around people, but then he will loudly let you know what he is thinking. Tea break. Today's tea is peppermint. Yummy. Sweet. Yummy. Okay, so this one's a very odd shape. It's pretty much rectangular. It's got this really cool indent here, which I'm thinking would probably be a good spot for an eye. So what I'm looking for is trying to see what other kind of features might be in there. So you could picture a nose at this point. If we turn it this way, that's kind of almost like a nostril, so it's almost like part of a face. So that might be interesting to do a little face in here. Nose, eyes, nose, maybe the start of a mouth. It wouldn't quite be a creature though, not as much as I would like. This way, that could be the nose again, but that seems like an awful lot for the front. We'd have to sneak the mouth right in here, but that's actually not too bad. Yeah, that way just doesn't have much. All right, that's going to do it. We're going to settle there. So, starting off, I'm going to get a little bit of black. And normally I do my eyes and such with a very dark black outline, but because this is such a light color, I'm going to try to sneak a little bit of this dark yellow called yellow ochre. So still going to be mostly very dark, but I'm going to see if I can get just a little bit of a yellow tone in there so it just matches a bit better. Yeah, this way it's not such a hard black color. That's nice. So I'm nearly done with one of my other art projects. I'm going to have to post it up for you guys, probably on Classroom. And I'll post it up on Instagram and Twitter as well, so you guys can see it. I started it weeks ago doing these Chinese zodiac characters with the intent that they would all have really crazy headpieces, whether they were masks or like really cool hats. And I'm nearly done with that, and it's kind of exciting. This one, I saw this one on the ground, and then I saw this part, and I'm like, it's a beak. That's it. It's going to be a beak. So actually, we can use this darker yellow to kind of start the beak here. To actually use. My little brush is great for details, but it's not a very strong bristle. The bristles are pretty bendable, soft bristle brush. This one's a lot stronger. It does not move very easily, so that's better for bigger surfaces, especially on a rock. I hope you guys make sure to check out our middle school news this week, RMS News on YouTube. If you're not following them yet, you really should. Especially now, it's nice to see some cool things that are happening. Mr. Bajorik's been doing some really cool stuff with some different computer type animations and whatnot. But there's going to be some shout outs this week with some artist work, and you guys should really see what some of the other kids have been doing. There's that. Too much water. This space right here is just too perfect to not make the eye. So if for some reason you are not following our middle school news students, you really should be. It's nice to see some faces of some other students, hear what other people are doing. For those of you that would normally be celebrating a birthday now, I know it's got to be hard because normally you'd be at school, you'd be having friends over. Oh my God, I mean, I can't even imagine. Actually, I can. My fellow summer birthday people, we understand this, don't we, guys? I think this one's going this way. But at least if it's your birthday, you can at least get the nice shout out on the news, which is fun. That's going to be a nice big eye right there. Not too clear of a nostril space, but I think we can make this one work. Yeah. This is a nice long-headed creature. I'm excited to go and hide these again. I want to see if other people pick them up, or we've got that that Nextdoor app where people in your neighborhood can like post up news or things like that, and my sister kind of keeps an eye on it for our neighborhood. It'd be really cool to see if anybody has spotted them or talked about them. Which is another thing. If you guys are doing anything cool in your neighborhood, posting up, signs in your windows or artwork in your windows for other people to see, let me know. Put pictures in the My Own Art section on Classroom. Or if you're on Instagram or Twitter, send them my way. I'd love to see. This one's got almost like a cheek here. So we're going to sneak his little mouth just right in here. And turn it so you guys can see better. better light. This rock is a lot bumpier. This is still another chunk of cement, but a very rounded chunk. He's gonna be cute. All right, now this one. This one had such a cool shape, but I wasn't sure. Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. This is the best part, when you just turn it and all of a sudden you can just see where the face is gonna go. You're just like, bam, that's it. That's the spot. There's a word for that when you see faces in things that don't have a face. I think it's called matrixing. You guys can probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it's called when you see a face in something. Like, have you guys seen those posts up with the people putting toilet paper rolls in their around their toilet to make it look like eyes, nose, and mouth? Like the lid of the toilet creates a mouth. Some of those have been so funny. But clearly, it's not an actual face, but you're making a representation of it, and other people can see it. Look at, can you see, guys, how cute this is gonna look? It's got like a sad eye, almost. I'm gonna create, this is gonna be like, it's gonna have like a little, like a cat-like curl to it here. Just a sad eye with a little smile. Perfect. Rotate. All right, back to the first one. That one's dried now. So now we're gonna get out the white. Start doing the whites of the eyes. It's hard to hear too much down in the basement when it comes to the outside, but I think it might be raining. Hearing just a bit of a sound. My sister said there was thunder last night. I did not hear it. I tend to sleep through thunder, which is disappointing because I love a thunderstorm. So whenever she wakes up in the morning, she's like, oh man, did you hear that thunder last night? No, I did not. I slept through. Next. This really is the best way to do it. Although this brush might be a little bit too gentle on this rock. There. Acrylic is nice because it tends to be a little bit thicker, especially if you don't use a lot of water. Watercolor is not usually good for painting on 3D surfaces. Largely because it's just such a watered down paint. It doesn't cover as much unless you're doing layers and layers and layers, so that can take a lot longer. Unless you're getting the really expensive watercolor that comes in tubes similar to this, but even those, you're meant to use water with it. You're meant to thin it out. Although some people don't like that acrylic has this kind of shine to it. You can see when I move it around, there's all these little like light flecks happening. So some people don't like the fact that it has that plasticky look to it, especially if they're trying to go for a more realistic look. But for these creatures, it suits me just fine. Alright, these are not... Nope, we're okay. Sometimes acrylic will take a lot longer to dry than you might expect, and sometimes it dries super fast. It probably would be helpful to have like a little fan. There we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the non-live stream. We are just recording it on my lovely new phone. Because we are too close to the end. I am not cutting another thing short. I want to keep working on this. So, here we go. Alright, who is ready for an eye? You are mostly dry, so you are ready. It has been decided. Let's give you, we're going to need some yellow. Because I want to lighten your beak a little bit. And we're going to use yellow in your eye. So for once, it was not a problem of my phone connecting to the internet or anything. Now it's a problem of the internet just died. Which I'm going to assume has to be because of the rain and the weather. I've heard a couple of areas have actually lost internet, so there's a good chance that if you guys are watching this at a later time, it's because you probably lost your internet. It's too bad, right when I finally get a phone that is up and working and ready, boom, internet dead. But that just means that you YouTubers are getting the full and intended show. I don't think I've done a blue eye yet, so let's actually, I want to get a little, you are white, yes you are. Let's steal a little bit of that. Nope. And a little bit of this blue. Nope. And we're going to make a nice blue eye. Yeah. It's almost like a denim color. But I think it suits you. Here's another little pro tip with eyes. Especially kind of these cartoonish characters. The less white of the eye you show, the more innocent seeming your creature will be. Large irises that fill the eye tend to make them look sweeter. On the other hand, if you want something to have a sharper expression, maybe something that looks excited or even angry. You're still a little wet, but I think we can still make it work. Create a smaller iris. More of the white showing. And especially making it not touch the edges of the eye. If it's in the center of the eye, that tends to give it a almost like a surprised look. So especially if these two next to each other, you can really see the intensity that this eye creates, not just because it's red, but because it is proportionally, it is a much smaller iris compared to the other one. Whoops. Okay. You're next. Got a yellow. Let's do a green eye. Little bit of our emerald green. Most of these, though, I don't want them to come out looking too intense and crazy. So we're going to be a little softer. Make sure we're touching both the top and the bottom. Yeah. Alright, we got a yellow, we got a blue, we got a green. Can we give you a purple? I would like to see a purple. Some, and let's keep it dark. Sure. No, this is a very sad looking creature. Oh, that has not dried as well as we would like, ladies and gentlemen, but we're gonna make it work. I feel like that's been the theme of these whole last few months, is make it work. We're making it work. We're making classes work. We're making going outside work. We are trying to make our hospitals work. Just anything we can do. And I know some people are starting to go really stir crazy and want to people wanting to get out and get moving and all that good stuff. But I think that a lot of us really need to just keep in mind that we're in this together, number one. We're all going through this together. There is nobody out there who is more or less affected by it than anyone else. Everyone is having their issues and everyone is having their trials. The only ones we could argue are having the roughest time are the people who are in healthcare right now. Who's that? Do we have a visitor? Oh, who's that? Quick, turn and say hi. Who's that? Hi, Wiley. Come here. Hi, baby. You're all wet. Have you been outside? Have you been outside? Yes, show off your butt. That's what everybody really wants to see. They're all here to see your booty. Thank you. I need that. Hey, what's this? What's it? Come here. Come here. I don't trust you, Mama. Are you leaving? Are you leaving? Okay, bye. I don't know if you're in the shot or not. I can't quite see the top of my camera. I'm going to assume you are. You're so cute. Okay, bye. I gotta go back to work. I wonder if he snuck down or if my sister let him down. Are you going to hang out? Or are you just going to stand there and stare at me? We're almost done. We got like 10 more minutes. Be patient, my dude. All right. Gonna get back to the black paint. Going to pause for a tea break. Basement is a lot chillier than the rest of the house, so tea seems to get cool way too fast. I'm used to my my super thermos that I had at school. Some of you might remember seeing it. That thing is a gift from my brother, and the tea in that will stay warm for the entire day, for the entire school day. I will make that tea at 7:30 in the morning, and by 3:30, as I'm getting ready to dump it out, it is still warm. That is like an eagle eye there, guys. Look at that. Wonderful. Now our intense guy will get an intense pupil. Yeah. Small little dot. You, being a little bit lizard-like, let's give you a long one. Like a snake or a cat eye. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. Okay. Next one. You have such a cool, long, gentle face. I want to give you a really soft kind of eye. Ooh, this paint is not dry nearly enough. That's all right. That's the good thing about the black paint. It is such a powerful color that even if the other paint is still wet and it's trying to mix, it's still going to come out really dark. Man, if it is raining like this though, it might be puzzle day, you guys. Nice. And this cute little muffin here, we're going to give him a very big pupil. Trying to make it look like his eye is partially closed. So by putting the pupil touching the top of the eyelid, it makes it feel like the rest of the eye is going up under here. It just gives him a very kind of doleful look, this little sad look. Okay. Let's get just a tiny bit more white out here. And let's use our stronger brush for this one, I think. Clean it off real good. Wanted a nice point. Because here comes the highlight. Great. Now the only thing I want to be careful about on here is that since I know this paint is not all the way dry that I'm going on top of, I just want to make sure I don't pick up any of that on the brush. So that when I go to the next one, I want to make sure that it's not turning a different color or turning gray or something like that. Your eye is big enough. We're going to give you a tiny one as well. Yeah. Same with you. Big one, and let's do another one right there. And a tiny So the purpose for these dots is it's meant to show a reflection. So if a light is shining on something, it will reflect back. And anytime you have more than one light, especially when you're looking at an eye, you might see more than one reflection. And especially in things like anime, Japanese cartoons, when they're trying to show kind of a stronger emotion, especially like someone's about to tear up, they're about to cry, they will add more to show that there is this reflection happening off of the moisture that's building up in their eye. Like each bit of tear is also creating a reflection. You're going to get kind of a big one because you're in a bit of an awkward angle. There you go. And there they are. So let's see about, if I zoom back a little bit. Let's see if we can get them all in the picture. Yeah. So there is the latest batch. Another nice group of 5. I've got a super big one waiting in the wings, but I need to go collecting again. So next time I'm out and about, I'm going to be looking for some more rocks. We might do another day of this at least on the online. It's fun. I think you guys can, it's kind of nice to have a project that you can get done pretty quickly, and these guys do. So that's kind of it's a nice quick thing, I think. I didn't give you a proper mouth. I'm sorry. How are you supposed to speak without a proper mouth? You just need a little one though. So yeah, I think that's going to be good for us today. Hopefully we'll get the internet up and running, but at least you guys can see this on YouTube. All right. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Stay safe. Wear your mask. I'd love to see pictures of them. And I will hopefully be chatting with you guys tomorrow. So, oh dear. I'm hearing zoomies above me. I better go check on it. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.